Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be discussing finance transformation for insurance. And with us today is Vishwas Swaminathan from PwC and Sufyan Khan from Oracle. Gentlemen, according to yourselves, how important is it that there's alignment between the actuarial, finance and technology teams to meet IFRS 17 compliance?
It's absolutely critical. If we take what's happening currently, for example, the actuarial expected cash flows will be handed over to accountants on a monthly, perhaps even on a quarterly basis. That's the interaction which exists currently with actuaries and accountants at the moment. That definitely can't carry on going forward. If you take the simple example of IFRS 17 analyzer or an equivalent accounting engine, it has to have both your actuaries and accountants working together, because we need to have the boundaries of where the IFRS 17 calculations need to happen, and where does it go into the sub-ledger, and then where does it go into the general ledger.
So you're going from models to calculations, CSM margin calcs, to sub-ledger trial entries, and then posting it up into the
general ledger, and then eventually into a reporting layer as well.
Right.
So what we found in a number of insurers is they have changed their operating model structure to reflect this new requirement, because it cannot be solved by actuaries alone and it cannot be solved by accountants alone. So what they have done is they have stood up mixed teams of accountants and actuaries with split responsibilities on a single solution. So for example, the calculation sits with the actuaries, whereas anything from the sub-ledger sits within the accountants. And that handoff almost happens on a weekly basis, if not even more on an ad hoc basis. So we actually demoed a VFA to one of our particular clients. So if we take the variable fee approach, which is one of the methodologies of IFRS 17 as an example, and if you have asset liabilities, how does that affect your P&L? That's not a conversation which can be solved by accountants alone or actuaries alone. That has to be a combined conversation. And all insurers will have credit control. How do you compare your expected as well as actual to ensure that your customers stay within the credit control? And how does that reflect on your KPIs? That's definitely a combined effort, leveraging the IFRS 17 analyzer or the accounting engine.
Okay. Sufyan, anything else to add to that?
I think I completely agree with what Vishwas highlighted. The alignment is fundamental, not just from the point of view of the handoffs between both of them, but the fact is that actuaries want to know what exactly is the business impact on the calculations they have done and how that impacts the KPIs. But you also got to look at one thing which needs to be looked at, that you're just not looking at this as an international standard, meeting it on a quarterly reporting. It's becoming now the frequency of the calculations, frequency of the results, frequency of the what-if analysis and simulations to see how this would be having an impact is going to be more on an ad hoc basis, on a weekly basis, sometimes more like bi-weekly basis also. And I think that level of consistency will be required. You just cannot push this to an end run. Because there's going to be the things which people forget is there's just not an external audit, but there's also an internal audit to see that this goes all the way to the steering committee and they are fine with the results which have been generated or the calculations. And they're fine with the way the business model is working. And that goes back again to what Vishwa, right? Is your target operating model in line? That all of the other parties are in place, all the business functions are in place. That's very fundamental there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gentlemen, thank you both for your time. I really appreciate your insights.
Thank you,
Prince.
IFRS 17, finance modernization. They're important, strategic, and timely conversations. Thank you for watching.